Hello and welcome to another Royal Reviewer live weekly chat. I hope you've all had a fantastic and voluptuous week. I know I have. Now I'm going to go straight and find the chat window, which I already popped open just a few moments ago, so I'll go and find that. Please, the format is exactly the same as always. Just say hello and ask a question in the chat box that you can see. Right, okay, the window is just popping up and I'm just seeing everyone in here. Okay, so I Love God says, hi, please explain again why Diana was called Princess and Catherine is not. Okay, well, I will go into that straight away. Seems like a really good royal question to go into straight away. It's basically because Catherine and Diana both weren't born princesses. Diana wasn't, her title wasn't actually Princess Diana, it was the Princess of Wales. She was never actually Princess Diana, even though she was called that by pretty much everybody. She was always, in fact, actually, in terms of being a princess, she was actually the Princess Charles. Pretty much the same way the Princess Michael of Kent is Princess Michael of Kent, because she wasn't born a royal. So Catherine is exactly the same as Diana, and when Catherine becomes the Princess of Wales, she won't be Princess Catherine. She will still be the Princess of Wales. Now, after answering that first question, I wanted to say a big happy birthday to these live chats, because I noticed yesterday when I was updating my playlists that it's exactly a year ago today, on the 26th of August of 2016, I did my first live chat, my first ever live chat, and it was filmed on my small old iPhone. I've actually got a new iPhone since then, but it was really primitive. I just popped on and wondered who would be there. I only had 5 viewers, I think, for the entire live chat that I did first, and wow, it's just been such a journey over the past year, and these live chats have just grown from strength to strength to strength. So this is a special happy birthday live chat, a 1-year anniversary of live chats. And as you can see, I've got my happy birthday banner. So let's all just celebrate 1 year of the live chats, because I know I've had a really amazing time, and there's such a fantastic community and a group of people that come week after week after week. I think in the entire year, I've only missed 3 or 4 weeks in total of the entire year. I've been here every single week, every Saturday, 10 o'clock on the dot, pretty much every single week. So thank you to everybody for coming. Thank you to everyone who keeps coming back. I really do appreciate it. So let's celebrate. Okay, MS31 says, hey, I think that's because she was Princess of Wales. That's right. So you're answering that question. So I'm going to skip that one now, because I think there was a little bit of conversation going on before I came. So I'm going to skip down and see if I can see some of the other questions. Okay, let's go down. And by the way, yes, the Queen Mother is dead. Quite long dead. Okay. Right, I'm still going down to find the questions. Okay. Right, Steve says hello. HW says hello from America. And Jamie says happy birthday to us, happy birthday to us, happy birthday weekly chat, happy birthday to us. Nina is here too, and Dawn is here, who says happy anniversary to you. Van Girl Candice says hello, nice to see you again. Betsy says hi, it's Betsy. And you got your birthday card. I was wondering if you got it. Betsy is one of my Royal Reviewer patrons on Patreon. Patreon is an app and an actual website. And she got a birthday card, a personalised handwritten birthday card from me to her. Any $10 a month or over subscriber gets one, and a Christmas card. So do check it out if you want one yourself. Sandy says, hi Elliot, happy 1-year anniversary. HW says happy chat birthday. And Candice says happy birthday to our wonderful live chat. I'm really glad that you guys actually really enjoy it. Sandy's wishing this chat happy birthday. And Jamie says, my brooch is a bit slanted. I did actually notice that. Shall I readjust it? Let me see. I think it needs a bit more pin room, actually. Okay, let's see. Okay, I don't want to prick myself. Okay. Let me see. Oh, did you know a little bit of... I'm going to start this again. A little bit of royal trivia. Did you know that the Queen actually pins her own brooches on? Her dressmaker, Angela Kelly, helps her to select which pieces to wear for the occasions. She's also the curator of the royal jewels. Is that any better? I think I'll, I don't know, leave it now. If it's wonky, it's wonky. And she helps select the jewels for the Queen to wear, ones that might go well with an outfit. Then the Queen selects them. She presents them to the Queen in a hand-sewn little tray that Queen Mary, her grandmother, actually hand-stitched the lace and embroidered. So she's handed us her jewellery on a tray. The Queen selects a piece and pins it on herself. Nobody else pins it on. Okay, I'm having a wardrobe malfunction today. Okay, is that better? I can just about see. Yeah, so the Queen puts it on herself. She doesn't have anyone do it. She pins on her own jewellery. Nina says, I love your chats. Deborah's saying congratulations. Sian Moon says congratulations. And happy anniversary. Can you wave? Yes, I can. And Jamie says it's also the Duke of Gloucester's birthday. Yes, I do believe it is. I did see something about that on Twitter, actually. By the way, I do have Royal Reviewer on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, so do check me out. Okay, oh, by the way, I wanted to open this birthday card. Shall I open it now or later? Let me know. I'm going to pop it here. It says, Dear Royal Reviewer. Let me know if you want me to open it now or later. Leave a comment. And Jamie says, much better. Okay. No more wonkiness. Toten Twins says, why did Queen Letizia and Prince Felipe both sign their name with an R at the end? Are they equal? It's the same as Elizabeth signing her name Elizabeth R for Regina, or if you're a king, it's Rex. And they are Latin terms. And I'm pretty convinced that all Queen consorts too, maybe I need someone on fact check to check, but I think all consorts can also sign with an R because they're a consort, even though they're not the actual monarch themselves. But can somebody fact check that for me on anywhere? Just check. Van Al says now. HW says now. Nina says now. Open it. Jamie says, I think I might already know what's in the card. Oh, and by the way as well, I also would like you all to come up with your favourite memories, your best memories of the live chats. And I will read them out and share your memories. Okay, so have we decided? Shall I open it now? Okay, so it says, Dear Royal Reviewer. I wonder what it is. Let's see. Hello to Jen, who's just joined us. And Sandra says, thank you for waving, and you're in Sunderland. Okay, right, it's coming, it's coming. Okay, here we go. Okay, it's a birthday card. How about that? Oh, I'm so surprised. I really didn't know this was coming. It says, you did it. And there's a cake with some sparklers. Can you all see that? If I hold it at different angles, hopefully you can see. Can you all see that? Actually, if I go to my screen, I can see what you can see. Okay, so it says, congratulations, you did it. And let me see what it says inside. Oh, there's a handwritten message inside. How about that? Shall I read it to you? It says, Dear Royal Reviewer. Oh, that's me. It says, thank you so much for your amazing live chats. Oh, I'm blushing. And then it's got in brackets, you've got a sparkling future ahead of you. Enjoy it. Congratulations. I think the sparkling is with reference to the sparkler. And it continues. I've enjoyed them all. And then in brackets, it says, even the week you did Eurovision. Cheeky. I don't know who wrote this, but they're very cheeky. It says, here's to another fun year. Well, I can agree with that. And it says, P.S. Look out for pregnant beavers. No pregnant beavers are allowed in this chat. Laugh out loud, kiss, kiss, kiss. There you go. Well, I never. The cheeky person who wrote that card. Okay, back to questions. Sandy says, Elliot, I love your Instagram. You have a beautiful voice, keep singing. Oh no, okay, so occasionally when I'm feeling in the mood on Instagram, I do post short snippets of me singing. Do go check it out. It's not royal related. A lot of the photos on there aren't royal related, but it's my Instagram, and if you want to check out what I've got on there, please do. Lots of people are laughing at my card. And yet, whoever wrote that was really cheeky. I mean, even the week I did Eurovision. I mean, come on. I ended up offending a nation, which I think was rather funny. Don't forget, you can tweet me even now, and I will, if you tell me you've tweeted me, I can go and check. Dawn says it's a funny card. In fact, actually, maybe I should put the card up. Shall I put the card up so we can all see it? For the cheeky person who wrote it. There we go. Okay, can we all see the card? Jamie says, who wrote it? Well, I don't know. I don't know who wrote it. Shall we take guesses on who wrote it? Jamie says, I'm not thinking so hard. Okay. So, serious for a moment. Serious, serious, serious. Buckingham Palace, there was an incident last night, and I did bring you the breaking news as it happened. There was an arrest made outside Buckingham Palace, quite a serious one. There was a serious weapon involved. Police officers got attacked, but it was all sorted. But it resulted in heightened security at Buckingham Palace, and it resulted in the palace being on lockdown, which it remained all night. And there was increased police presence, and the road blocked off, I think, for most of today. So I think things have calmed down now. Fortunately, the Queen wasn't there. She's in fact at Balmoral, her Scottish castle, on her annual summer break with members of the family. So fortunately, she wasn't there, but it was serious because she could have been there. If this would have happened, you know, a month ago or in a month's time, she would have been there. So it was a serious incident, but it's kind of sorted now. HW says, where is Prince Rory this evening? My cat, he's out. He's left me, and so has Molly. They've both left me. Steve thinks Rory wrote the card, and Dawn thinks Jamie did. Candice says, love the card and the hilarious message. Whoever wrote it was very cheeky. Sandra says, it's lovely to be recognised, sending you a card. HW says, the knife wielder was clever enough to know that the Queen was at Balmoral. Well, I don't know. Maybe they didn't. Maybe they don't watch my chat. Dawn says, was it your significant other? No, it wasn't. Jamie says it was Dawn. Jen's laughing. Fuzzy Puppet says, does the royal family have to have security everywhere they go? Each working royal has a personal protection officer, which is actually employed by the police force, not them. So technically, they can't boss or tell the security officer what to do. The security officer, their protection officer, has to make sure that all of their activities, their daily activities, both personal and private, are safe and secure, and routes have been planned, and you know, all the security is top notch. But they don't have to be bossed around by the royals, if that makes sense. So, for example, Princess Diana was notorious for not wearing her seatbelt, as we know, with the 20th anniversary of her death coming up. and she wasn't wearing her seatbelt on that occasion, but she had dispensed with her personal protection officers at that time. So her personal protection officer, whose book I've read, whose name is Ken Warp, it's really good, do get it, he said that he was forever telling her to put her seatbelt on, and he wouldn't, in fact, you know, drive off with her unless she had a seatbelt on. So they aren't bossed around by the security officer because they aren't employed by them, if that makes sense. So yes, every working royal gets a personal protection officer, as does government ministers and the Prime Minister. Karen says, congratulations, a fun, cheeky anniversary greeting. MS31 says, do you think King Felipe of Spain was right to go today to the manifestation against terrorism at Barcelona, even suffering all the boos from the independent press? Yes, because you can't let things like that get in the way of daily life. You can't stop them from disrupting your routines, and you can't stop them, you know, they can't let you stop paying your respects when incidents have happened. So yes, I think he was right. And also it showed that he cared as well. Jamie says, Elliot knows because he would have given the person his address. Candice says, the incident at the palace really worried me until I remembered Her Majesty wasn't in residence. But don't forget, other members of the royal family who may not be at Balmoral do have private apartments at the palace, which they could technically be using. They probably aren't, but they could technically be. Candice says, the incident at the... Oh, I've read that one. MS31 says, sorry for my English, not my native language. Don't worry. We will, doesn't matter what you type, we will get there in the end. So don't worry if it's not your second language. By the way, that reminded me actually, I actually discovered something on my YouTube settings, which I've actually opened up, and that is subtitles. So if, for example, your first language is Spanish or French or German, or Filipino, or whatever your language might be, if you can translate what I'm saying or the words that are on my videos, you can actually do that. You can translate it for me. And I will allow translation to go ahead so that people can understand my videos in many different languages. And I think you get a name check from YouTube on the video to say that you've translated it. So if you do speak a different language and you do want to help out the channel and get a name check, you can click on the video and submit subtitles, which then I have to approve. No one's done it yet, so it's very, very new to me, so do bear with me. But if you want to, you can speak a different language, please feel free. HW says, Elliot, was the birthday card delivered by drone? Surely you gave someone your address. It wasn't delivered by drone. Sandra says, kindness is free. Sprinkle that everywhere. Well, let's sprinkle it everywhere. Oh, by the way, can you see my birthday banner? Can you make it out clearly? It says, happy birthday. MS31 says, thanks for your answer. MSMB 2012 made it, so hello to you. HW says, Elliot, if you could have any meal, what would it be? Do you know what? Most of the time, I just like a basic chicken steak in breadcrumbs with a baked potato and cheese and butter and vegetables, including broccoli. That would be one of my favourite dinners. It's simple, classic, but I quite like it. I also like pasta, pen pasta. Anything with cheese on, I think. Karen says, except when that one guy climbed up into the Queen's bedroom. Yes, he did. And the Queen actually saw him and raised the alarm and kept him talking until her protection got there. And since then, protection was upped at the palace. And there was another incident where Prince Andrew met someone in the grounds, I do believe, or something like that. MS31 says, I can help with French and Spanish. That would be really good. I mean, I don't know, just try it. I don't really know how it works. It's really, really new to me. So just click on any video and see if you can see somewhere where it says about subtitles and translations. click on it and just do a test for me. If you could do a test, that would be really good. We could try and work it out together. Candice says, does security need to be increased again at Buckingham Palace? Security is always under review. So of course this will probably trigger another review, another security review. You heard that none of the family were there yesterday, but of course staff were, of course. And tourists as well. I mean, just imagine if you were a tourist and you were there and all this was going on. Jamie says, someone joining in now, chicken and bacon with potatoes. Is that what you like? Nina says, I like your mug. Oh yeah, my mug. It's not a royal one, but it is a London one, and it's a famous department store in London called Liberties. And I bought this from Liberties, and it has the outside of Liberties all the way around the cup, and it's another Emma Bridgewater piece, which I have a collection of on my shelf over there. Jamie says the person didn't even get into the gate, not a major security breach. It depends, because you don't necessarily have to get in through the gates to be a threat. Imagine if you've got some kind of bomb launcher or gun, you can certainly shoot beyond the gates. There isn't a force field, I'm afraid. MS31 says, I think security at Buckingham Palace is quite optimal, at least compared with other royal palaces that serve as residences. In Oslo, for example, I think people can reach the front wall. I didn't know that. That is quite lax. And actually, I think your English is really, really good. Jen says, how old am I today? Well, it's not me. It's not my birthday. My birthday was August the 4th, the same as Meghan Markle and the Queen Mother's. It's my channel. It's my channel live chats. It's my live chat birthday, 1 year birthday. So not the whole length of time of my channel, but just since I've been doing these live chats. HW says, Elliot, has the 2017-18 school year started in the UK? Not until Monday. So not this Monday coming, the next one. Robert says, I like your beard. Thank you very much. I Love God says, happy birthday. Have fun today. Sandy says, how long has a royal family on vacation for? By the way, my mug with legs needs to make it to the live chats. I would love, that mug is really old. And if you go to my, where did I post that? Did I post it on Twitter or did I post it on Instagram? Anyway, I posted a photo of my old childhood hood that has legs. So that's what Sandy is referring to. It's really old. It's as old as me, I think. That's very old. MS31 says, I would love Spanish royals to live in the royal palace in Madrid, not in their small residence outside. And you think it's ugly. And you're saying, thank you for my comment that you speak good English. I think you do speak good English. And yes, I think, you know, maybe their main residence, their official residence should be the main royal palace in Madrid. But I suppose, like the British royals, they do have their own, you know, personal, private, smaller homes. Although I know that that particular residence you're referring to is fairly small. HW says, Elliot, I am loving the bow tie and braces. Thank you very much. I didn't know what to wear tonight, actually. And they're kind of slipping a little bit. I Love God says, sorry, happy anniversary. No need to say sorry, but thank you for the happy anniversary. Jamie says, any building isn't immune to a bomb. They could do that to any building in London. If someone ran up with a grenade, there's nothing you can do about it. Exactly. But we don't want that to be the palace. Or anywhere, for that matter, too. Kosh says, dropping in to say hi. Not sure if you caught my question about a week ago, but I asked about Lady Louise and Viscount Severn. Will their titles change once Prince Edward becomes Duke of Edinburgh? No, is a simple fact. Possibly, no, I do not believe they will. The only time they could change is if they actually take up what they're entitled to, which is their prince and princess status, because technically they are supposed to. They are styled, style and title of an earl. I don't think that changes when he becomes duke. I think he will still remain Viscount 7 unless he takes on another one of Edward's subsidiary titles. But I'm not sure whether he's going to keep his current subsidiary titles or whether he will take on the Duke of Edinburgh's Prince Philip's, or whether he's just taking on the Duke of Edinburgh and keeping his subsidiary titles. So it depends upon what collection or what collection of titles he takes up, if that makes sense. So we will have to wait and see. Any titles that are taken up from the Duke of Edinburgh upon his death will of course revert back to the crown. But just because Edward inherits the Duke of Edinburgh title doesn't mean he'll necessarily get the others. He may choose to keep the ones he's currently got or give them up and take on the dukes. So it depends entirely what the plan is, which hasn't been revealed. So I hope that makes sense. Jeanette says happy anniversary. Aragon says it's great to see what you look like. Your voice matches you. Congratulations. May you have a golden jubilee yourself. I would love that. Imagine if I do this for all that time. That's from John from Miami. Thank you so much. Jamie says James would become the Duke of Edinburgh eventually. Yes, I mean eventually he would. But when the Earl of Wessex ascends to that title or takes it on, I don't think Viscount 7 will change unless, like I say, the subsidiary titles change. Candice says, has there been any word on who is behind the attack and if it was connected to the one in Belgium? There are ongoing police investigations. I mean, there are indications that it was a religious motivation behind it. I'm being quite careful what I say here, because of course nothing has been confirmed yet. But let's just say things are under investigation. HW says, Elliot, where did you get your Union Jack triangular banner? I really quite like it and would like one. It is it's classed as vintage, and I bought it off Amazon, and it's just Union Jack vintage bunting. If you type in Union Jack vintage bunting, it should come up. It was reasonably priced. I think it was under £10, possibly £7, and it's really good. I love it too. Isle of God says, what time is it there? It's currently 28 minutes past 10 in the evening. Jamie says, so much attacks across Europe, most aren't even reported well. Scary world we live in. MS31 says, a more personal question. When did your passion or fascination for royals grow or develop? I think it's always been there. I've always been interested in kings and queens. When I was growing up, both sets of grandparents and my mother were always interested in them. I always wanted to see Princess Diana and what Harry and William were up to in the newspapers when I was young, because of course I'm pretty much the same age as what they are. When I was at school, I was really fascinated by history, especially kings and queens of the past, whether it be ancient Egyptian, pharaohs, or I remember doing an entire term of Tudor history, which just completely sparked my imagination and interest, and I've just followed them since then. As growing up as a teenager, I read lots of history, biographies of royal figures, and then I would probably say my interest in the current British royal family, I mean, seriously kicked off probably 4 or 5 years ago, when I stopped reading about lots of Tudor kings and Tudor queens and pharaohs, and I started reading about our current royal family. So I've always had an interest, but perhaps not a detailed interest until about 5 years ago. So I suppose you could say it's fairly recent, but I've always had an interest in history and monarchy and kings and queens. Okay, Candice says it's 2:28 here in Victoria. And I really wish I had been knighted. Thank you for those comments. Oh, speaking of Victoria, there was a promotional kind of premiere of the new ITV drama, TV drama Victoria, about Queen Victoria, which is due to be aired tomorrow in the UK. So I'm very excited. Let me know in the comment section below if you're interested in it, if you enjoyed the first series or season, if you like. Jenna Coleman, who plays Queen Victoria, was at the promotional event. She's dating the actor who plays Prince Albert. And all the little sneak peeks do look fairly good. It looks like it's going to be another really good series or season. Do check out my video about that. Aragon says, is this your full-time job or is it a hobby? I would love it to be my full-time job. I would love to concentrate on this full-time. I do have a full-time job, full-time hours, and I work in a school, in a special needs school. But although I love doing what I do, I would love to do this full-time. And it was kind of getting to the point where I could think about possibly reducing the amount of hours I do and spending more time on YouTube. But then I'm sure you've all heard YouTube has implemented lots and lots of changes to its computer algorithm, and basically lots of innocent channels have been hit, and their videos are being deemed not all advertiser friendly, which means that if a video gets marked as not all advertiser friendly, it's still there on YouTube, but YouTube don't show adverts on it, so you don't make anything from that video, and more importantly, your video doesn't get promoted in the recommendations. So I've noticed a big, massive drop in channel views, in advertiser revenue. I mean, let's put it this way, I didn't earn a lot to begin with, but now it's just plummeted because of the YouTube changes. You can request a manual review from YouTube, and eventually they do get round to it, but by then, especially with my channel being a news event, you've lost most of the ad revenue because you've already had your views. So it's a big problem. It's not just me. Lots of other channels have been hit. Hopefully YouTube is working to rectify it. They say that they want their algorithm to work in context. So just because there's, I don't know, a word like war, for example, in your title, if it's in context, as in it's a computer game, for example, about war, then that would be okay. But at the moment, the algorithm is just picking up everything it thinks is bad and blocking it. So, my channel and others are going through a really bad time right now. So all of your support and help is much appreciated. And there are some things that you can do to help that don't cost anything necessarily. If you did want to kind of donate to the channel, you could join Patreon, Patreon, and become a Royal Reviewer patron. You get stuff back for that, including exclusive content, access to patron-only Facebook group. You can speak to me there, send me messages. If you're a $10 a month or over subscriber, you get a birthday card handwritten by me sent to you, and a Christmas card, which I'm due to send out the first batch of Christmas cards. I think I'll send them out probably mid-November. So if you want one of those, please make sure you join Patreon at $10 a month or over, and you will get a Christmas card from me, handwritten, signed, and a signed photo as well, if that's what you want. But other ways that you can help are to, on my main YouTube page, make sure that you're subscribed, obviously, but there's also a little bell notification, and that means that you get notified every single time I upload a video. So make sure you've ticked the little YouTube bell and turned on notifications, because if my videos aren't getting recommended to you by YouTube, you might miss videos. So please turn on the bell. When you watch the videos, make sure you watch them to the end, because watch time is really important in YouTube rankings. If there's an advert, please don't skip it, watch it to the end. Again, that helps. And simple things like, if you go off to work or something, leave one of my playlists running. You know, I've got playlists that have got hundreds of videos in. Let them play. That way, it really does help the channel, and it doesn't really cost anything. And you can make sure that YouTube is getting the feedback from you, the viewer, that you like this channel, and then it will get ranked higher, and hopefully my videos will get promoted so that people can actually get to see them. So at the moment, that's a really big problem. So, oh, and also give my videos a big thumbs up and leave a comment as well. You know, I say that at the end of every video. You know, if you like this video, please give it a like, which I mean thumbs up by that. You know, and comment on the video, and share it on social media. If you've got a Facebook or a Twitter, just click the share button and you can share my video with your friends and your family, and hopefully, you know, my videos will get out there a lot more. So that's how you can help. And I just thought I'd make you aware about what's going on with YouTube and what's going on with creators, not just me. You know, when I say this, I speak for a lot of different creators. So if you've got favorite creators, do all those things for them too. It will help. So I hope I've answered that question about, you know, is it my full-time job or a hobby? And I got a little bit off track as well. Nina says, is anything happening on the 31st? I read the Royal Trio were going to be viewing the White Garden. Yes, they are. So I'll be covering that. And no, there's no news yet on the statue, other than it's been commissioned. And it's going to be somewhere, I believe, at Kensington Palace. I'm not entirely sure where. Maybe it will be in the White Garden. I don't know. But nothing has been announced that it's been finished or even started. I think the idea was that it's commissioned in the 20th anniversary year. And then obviously, you know, a big statue will take time to design and create. So, you know, possibly it will be unveiled next year, I'm thinking. I don't think we'll get anything this year. I Love God says, did you happen to see my question? If I haven't read it, then no. Please type it again. Sandra Horn says, it's a full-time job. The royal family, everything is planned out. 52 weeks, they can't afford to be poor. Oh, if we're talking about the royals, yes, it is a full-time job. Up until now, Prince William has been working as a helicopter pilot and part-time royal. He's given up his helicopter duties and he will be full-time. And yes, they do have all the engagements planned out. Prince Harry has been a full-time working royal, and they are taking up the slack from the Queen, and of course Prince Philip, who has now given up his solo programme of royal duties. Sandy says, when are we going to see some changes, if any, within the royal family, since the Queen's getting older and Prince Philip is now retired? And what you mean by that is titles or ranks. Any changes? I don't think we're going to see any title changes anytime soon. In terms of maybe a regency period, there was talk in the news, which I reported too. There was talks of the Queen, when she reaches 95, of making Prince Charles Prince Regent, and then effectively she could retire while still remaining monarch. The palace has denied that. So again, we're kind of in waters where we don't know. I mean, the palace hasn't officially denied it. Sources at the palace have kind of said, you know, let's wait a bit, you know, hang on, let's wait. So I think it's right that we should just wait and see what happens. William and Catherine and Harry will take on more and more duties, but their titles and ranks won't change at all. Until the Queen passes, and then everyone kind of moves up slightly. Dawn says, I can't wait for Victoria and the next season of The Crown too. Yes, I'm also really looking forward to The Crown. I Love God says, question people answered before you went live. I'd like to hear your answer. I can't go back up to that question. I will get myself lost. So please ask the question again if you want it answered, and I will answer it for you. Jamie says, I have not watched Victoria but can't wait for The Crown. Do watch Victoria, it was really good. I really enjoyed it, and you know that I'm really critical of those types of programmes. MS31 says, you could become a royal correspondent or a reporter and be knighted one day. Oh, my dream. Although I suspect your love for royals, as for all of us, is not interested. I would love to have a proper official royal role with something, whether it be a newspaper correspondent or a TV correspondent. I would love that. It would be really good. But for now, I'm really happy doing my YouTube, being independent, not having to work to any deadlines as such, apart from ones that I impose on myself. You know, I don't have any agenda. I'm not being paid by anyone, so you know, my content is as true and as accurate as I can possibly make it, without being biased at all. Okay, HW says, Elliot, I recently finished Philippa Gregory's The Taming of the Queen. I've not read that one, but I have read some of her other, well, her earlier books, shall we say. And that's about Henry VIII's last wife, Catherine Parr. She was much more powerful than I had imagined. She was a clever cookie. And she was a great lady before she married Henry. Of course, she outlived him and went on to have, I suppose, a bit of a tumultuous existence after Henry. And of course, she sort of took on Elizabeth I. She took her on before she became queen, and kind of raised her, helped to raise her. And there was a lot that went on with her husband and possibly Elizabeth. So yes, great Tudor scandal was had by all. Catherine said, joining in late again, but wanted to wish your chat a happy birthday. Well, thank you so much. Jamie says, next live chat will also be your 50th. I think, yeah, I think it might be. I think I counted 48 or 49 videos, so yes, it will. MS31 says, how many times does a random video on your channel take you on time to make? They all vary on how many photographs there are, if there's video footage, how much voiceover commentary I do. So I would probably say from start to finish, if I'm uninterrupted, you know, writing it, filming it, recording it, syncing it, uploading it, promoting it, probably an hour, 2 hours, somewhere around that mark for each video. Although what I've started doing is kind of bulk making them and then kind of bulk uploading them. So I get all the groundwork done first and then kind of, you know, just spend the time on the uploading and the promoting at the same time. So it does take quite a lot of time. It's my own spare time. At the moment, I've been on a 6-week holiday, which is ironic because it's the 6th week when the least has happened with the British royal family. So when I go back to my day job, they'll be going back to their day job and it'll all start again and I will be exceedingly busy, which is kind of good because I do enjoy it. Let's go back up. Okay. Betsy says, I think my question sounded weird, but it would be fun to send you birthday cards and Christmas cards too, if you ever get a private mailbox. I did look at it and it was very, very, very expensive to get a PO address. But perhaps I might look at it, you know, if the channel grows a bit more and maybe I get a few more Patreon contributors, perhaps I could afford to get a PO box. That could be one of my goals on Patreon. I Love God says, I'm still confused as to why Diana was called Princess Diana and Catherine is not. Oh, I think I did answer your question. And basically, it's because Diana wasn't actually called Princess Diana. People referred to her as that, but she wasn't a princess in her own right. She wasn't born a princess. She married into the family and became the Princess of Wales. That was her official title. People wrongly call her Princess Diana. After divorce, she became Diana, Princess of Wales, but she was never officially Princess Diana. And that's why Catherine is not too, because she wasn't born a princess. Therefore, when she married William, she doesn't become Princess Catherine. She actually becomes Princess William because she takes on his style and rank. But because he got a dukedom, she's referred to as the Duchess of Cambridge. I hope that helps. Jamie says, when Diana married Charles, he was Prince of Wales. Kate married William, and his title is only Duke. Exactly. So when William rather does become the Prince of Wales, Catherine will be known as the Princess of Wales. Susan says, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. How are you? Karen says, Diana was in the royal bloodline. If you went way, way, way back, yes, she was. Betty says, happy chat birthday. And HW says, Elliot, I nearly forgot to mention that every day this past week, I've been putting your entire playlist on and running all day long. I hope this bumps your channel numbers so YouTube pays me. But it's not just about being paid. It's about the more time people spend on a playlist or watching a video or watching my channel, the higher ranking it gets. So when people search for things like Princess Diana, my videos on Princess Diana show up first. So it's about that too, which really helps a channel. Candice says, Elliot, why was Diana embalmed so quickly in Paris? The heat. It was very, very hot. It was summer, of course, and it was very, very hot, and they just decided to embalm her really quickly. Dawn says, have a great chat, everyone. I'm heading out now. See you in 2 weeks. Have a really good 2 weeks, and I hope to see you again soon too, Dawn. Jamie says, enjoy the festival and see you later. Catherine says, I just read today that the Queen told William and Harry to keep their personal lives personal. Is that true? Can I ask where you heard that from? It wasn't FFTM News or News 24/7 or the Top Half or anything like that, because there is a lot of fake news going out there, and anything that claims to reveal what somebody told somebody or what someone's opinion is, I would take with a pinch of salt. So I would say no, that is not true. It's fake news designed to get hits for their channels. So I would say no, it's not true. And I've heard nothing of that in our media. So no, it's not true. And all these videos people keep making about the Queen telling Camilla what to do, or Camilla having a rant at Kate, or William telling Camilla this or Camilla that, it's all complete fakery. Don't watch it. Unsubscribe from all those fake news channels. Al Allgone says, it's possible to make the text font you display under each photograph a bit larger. It's sometimes difficult to see. Great job on the channel and live chat. The reason why it's that small, and there is a reason why it's that small, is because if it's any bigger, it kind of blocks the photograph, and then if I want to show the photograph again after, it makes the video kind of twice as long. So I'm afraid it's small for a reason. If you're viewing from a mobile device, it will be even smaller. If you really want to see clearly, please watch the videos on a bigger screen, and hopefully the sizing will be better for you. Susan says, I dream we was driving on the highway and the driver forgot to look before entering the road. What happened next? I don't know. It was your dream. And good night to you. Valerie says, hi from Memphis. Who had her embalmed? It was the medics and the government officials that were in Paris on that occasion. Ruth says, happy anniversary from Houston. Thank you so much. And hello to everybody in Houston, in Texas. Okay, I think I've managed to get through all of those questions. So let me go to my little notes. Okay, Darren McGrady, who was Diana's personal former chef, who worked for her up until the day she died. He made a claim. He says, well, a prediction. He thinks that Prince Harry has already asked Meghan Markle to marry, and that they will make the announcement in December, because that date doesn't interrupt with any other royal events that are going on. He says it won't overshadow anything. And I kind of half agree with him. I half agree in the fact that I reckon that Prince Harry has already asked Meghan to marry. That's my opinion, it's not fact. But I disagree on the timing of the announcement. I think the timing will be more likely to be September, October, which also wouldn't clash with the 20th anniversary of Diana's death, wouldn't clash with the Queen and Philip, wouldn't clash with anything. So I'm thinking September, October. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And I think I just answered MS31's question there. Valerie G says, what is the theory on why they are sending George to a school that's 4 miles away, but they also have one 30 minutes away instead of the Kensington location? Okay, so Prince George's new school is it's kind of like a group of schools, so they're all under the same umbrella, and there is one that's really close to Kensington where they live, and there's one roughly 4 miles away, and there's a whole group of them around London. William and Catherine chose to send Prince George to the one that's 4 miles away, not the one that's really, really close and pretty much around the corner. Well, why have they done this? I mean, you know, they haven't ever released anything to say why, so I can't sit here with a definitive answer and say they chose that particular school because of these reasons. But I can say they must obviously have a reason, and I'm thinking it's probably because the different schools perhaps have a different focus on different things. Maybe they felt that that particular branch of these schools offered Prince George something more suitable for him. Perhaps it has better amenities. There's all these different things, all different considerations that parents take into account, and William and Catherine are no different. So I just think it probably has come down to something as simple as personal preference. They prefer that particular branch of the school than the others. I am assuming they are all slightly different. Otherwise, why wouldn't they choose the one that was really, really close? And I hope that answers your question, kind of, and I'm sorry I couldn't give you a more definitive answer on that one. Nina says, if you already asked her, wouldn't she be wearing a ring? A ring? Well, she hasn't been seen for 3 weeks. Apparently their African holiday went on for 3 weeks, and they've literally just rounded it up this weekend and are possibly back in the UK now, or literally about to come back. They went to Victoria Falls, which is a very romantic location. So possibly he's already asked her. And of course we haven't seen the ring because they haven't been back yet, and she wouldn't reveal the ring, just like Catherine didn't, until the announcement. Don't forget that William asked Catherine weeks and weeks before the announcement was actually given, and she also didn't wear her ring until the actual announcement. And William asked her in Africa too. So I'm thinking he will follow his brother's footsteps. Meghan and Harry both have a love of Africa, and they have been to some romantic locations. So it all kind of points in that direction, but of course it is all speculation until the actual announcement is made. So please leave your predictions and let me know. Ruby Butler says, hi, I just joined. Hello to you and welcome. Sandy says, do you know what Princess Beatrice has been up to? Haven't heard anything from her in a while. And yes, I agree with you about Harry and Meghan. Princess Beatrice, the last I heard of her, she was on holiday over her birthday time. And the Duke of York, Sarah Ferguson and Eugenie were at Balmoral with the Queen. I don't know if they're still there. Maybe we'll know more tomorrow when the royals arrive at church. And I always do love bringing you when they are at a location where the Queen goes to church. I love bringing you those videos of who arrives at church, who's in the car. So do look out tomorrow for a who is at church, who is at the Balmoral Church, Craffy Kirk, tomorrow. So if you want to know who's there, who's holidaying up in Balmoral with the Queen, that's a good video to watch. So do look out for that one. Maybe we'll see Princess Beatrice. Nancy says, love your channel. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Jamie says, pupils in his school are forbidden to have best friends. Is it classed as a Montessori? Is it a Montessori? I know he's been to a Montessori nursery, but yes, this new school, they are encouraged not to have a best friend. The theory is that you are friends with everyone, and nobody is a best friend. And that's one of their teaching practices. MS31 says, which royal family do you know better after the British one? I would probably say, which royal family do I know best? I'd probably say I know the rest about the same as one another. The Dutch, the Spanish, I would probably say I know them pretty much on an equal plane, if I'm being honest. And of course, this channel primarily focuses on the British royals, and I've done a few more videos these last 2 weeks on European royals, because there haven't been the amount of engagement going on with the British royals. So in September, it will be pretty much back to full-time British royals, unless the Europeans do something really interesting. And yes, to Valerie, I think they are both co-educational, but I don't know the exact differences between the two unless I went on their website and literally tried to delve into it a bit more. Maybe I will. Maybe I can do that as an upcoming video. HW says, Princess Beatrice was dumped by her boyfriend after dating the 12th. Let me go through that again. I got a bit tongue-tied then. Princess Beatrice was dumped by her boyfriend after dating for many years. He's engaged, or yes, he did. He got engaged to another girl pretty much straight away. So you're guessing she's trying to avoid being questioned about it. Well, I mean, you can, if you're questioned, you can just give no comment. That's pretty much what they do. I think she's probably over it. Maybe he just wasn't right for her. Fuzzy Puppet says, would Meghan be able to appear at Prince Harry's side at the Invictus Games if they are engaged? I think the Invictus Games she could possibly attend without being engaged, because it's not an actual royal event as such. You know, it's not Trooping the Colour, it's not a balcony appearance. And of course, when they are engaged, she will be able to attend all events with him if she wants to, and especially going to Sandringham at Christmas. But I think the Invictus Games is actually where they met last year, and there's nothing stopping her from attending. Being an official partner, I don't think it will happen. I don't think she'll be, for example, actually at his side. But I think she could pretty much turn up if she wanted. So although it's not a private occasion, such as when, well, for any kind of private occasion, but she also did attend one of his polo matches, which was kind of an event. It was a charity event. The Invictus Games, I would probably put on the same kind of level. So I would say she could attend, but I don't think she'll be seen on his arm, but she might be there at the event. Hopefully that helps. Isle of God says, you are well spoken. Thank you very much, apart from when I get tongue-tied. Valerie G says, no, she wouldn't be seen wearing a ring. Kate didn't, which is what I've just said. Nina says, darn, I want to see the ring. Don't we all? And I make a prediction of emeralds. I'm thinking emeralds. Possibly diamond, but I'm thinking emeralds. I think, you know, Catherine wearing the Diana's sapphires. Sarah Ferguson was known for the rubies. I have a feeling, possible feeling, that maybe Meghan Markle will take on any emerald jewellery. Perhaps any of Diana's emerald sweets. Don't forget, Diana had a wonderful collection of emerald jewellery too. They weren't her favourites. Diana didn't really enjoy wearing emeralds. She did on several occasions. She had the amazing emerald choker, which she wore as a bandeau. But I'm thinking possibly Meghan might get the emerald suite. And of course, you know, I think the colour would really pop on Meghan. I think she has the right colouring to really carry off emeralds. Not a lot of people, I think, look good in emeralds. But I think Meghan would look fantastic in them. So my prediction is emeralds for Meghan, possibly an emerald engagement ring, maybe diamond. We will have to wait and see. Let me know what you think. Okay. MS31 says, if Eugenie or Beatrice marry commoners, will they be offered peerages like the husbands of Princess Margaret and Anne? I doubt it. Of course, we can't predict, but I very much doubt it, especially with Charles's perceived stance on kind of shrinking the royal family. So I doubt it. They will probably just retain their own style as princess and princess. Sandra says, a child who reads will be an adult that thinks. I completely agree. And I did lots of reading when I was young. Maria says, good night and sweet dreams. So good night to you. HW says, Elliot, what does your partner do whilst you are live chatting? Work. My partner is a night shift worker, so currently at work, being very busy. Isle of God says, what's a peerage? A peerage is a title such as Earl or Baron or Duke or Marchioness, Marquis. Those are all peerages. A dukedom. MS31 says, good night to you all and thanks, Elliot, for your answers and your always interesting work and videos. Thank you so much for the comments and thank you for being a member of tonight's chat. And I hope you have a fab week. Nicole says, I believe the engagement will be announced in the spring. Oh, there's an interesting thought. I mean, I'm thinking an announcement September, October with a wedding in the spring, but you're thinking the announcement in spring. And you say Suits season 7 will finish airing around March. The first half of season 7 ends on September the 13th. Ooh. But filming continues until the end of November. Now that's interesting because if those dates add up, which they do, okay, Nicole could be onto something here. Unless, of course, they announce in September, October, and also announce at the same time that Meghan will be retiring from Suits, possibly. It depends how they do it. It depends how they play it. But that's an interesting one. Thank you for your comment. Valerie G says, when and where was Kate and Will's last vacation? Was it the... Oh, to be honest, I can't remember. When was the last time they went on a holiday? They've had lots of royal tours, but in terms of a private holiday, do you know what? I can't remember when their last private holiday was. Probably their last private holiday was the summer holiday they've just had at Balmoral, because usually they go in January, and they've had a history of going with the Middletons to somewhere like the Maldives or St. Lucia, or it's somewhere tropical. I forgot the exact location. I don't think they went this January, so I don't think they've had one other than the Balmoral one. But maybe I'll check that one out. I'm trying to think. I don't think I've heard of them going anywhere. Valerie says, what is the Montessori school difference? It's a method of teaching. I think it's a mainly European method, and it's a learning approach through play is the way I can best describe it. So they don't have quite the same pressures put on them. Lots of learning is done through exploration and play. And if you want to look up more on the Montessori practice, it's all out there on Google, so do search for it. HW says, I think if they do get engaged, Prince Harry will announce it before Christmas. I do too. That way she can attend the Christmas gathering at Sandringham. I would agree with that one. Nina thinks, yes, Christmas. Nancy says, Meghan would look gorgeous in emeralds. I agree. I just do. I just really think she would look fantastic in emeralds. Jamie says, I'm going to go now too. Tired and feeling frail today. Oh no. I hope you're okay. And I hope you feel better for next week. Jamie says, bye-bye. See you all next week. So goodbye to Jamie. I hope you all saw as well, there's going to be a new movie about Mary Queen of Scots, and we had some interesting pictures of Margot Robbie, who plays Elizabeth I, and she had, you know, I mean, her look as Elizabeth I was really something. Do go and check out that video and let me know in the comment section on that video what you think about Margot Robbie's portrayal of Elizabeth I. I mean, they're still filming the movie, so we don't have any video clips or any trailers or anything, but just these photographs of her dressed up as Elizabeth I, it's quite a striking look. So do let me know what you think about that one. There was also news this week about how Prince Harry has been protecting Meghan Markle when she enters and leaves the UK. And I think a lot of us have been a little bit confused about Meghan's movements over the last year. At first, we saw her at the airports. So we knew basically when she was in the UK, when she was back in Canada. Over recent months, it's been really, really hard to tell where she is. If she's in Canada, Toronto, or if she's in the UK with Harry. Since Christmas, she spent a lot of time in the UK with Harry at Nottingham Cottage in the grounds of Kensington Palace. But we haven't really seen lots of movement. And the reason why, now I know why, is because Harry has been picking her up from the tarmac of the airport in his own car, with a police escort, of course. So literally, she's been going through all the checks, all the legal checks on the plane, getting off the plane first. Her bags have always been loaded last so that she can get them off first, so they're easy to find. Straight from the plane, into Harry's car, gone to Kensington Palace with a police escort. So that's why we haven't really known much about her movements. So I just thought that was really interesting, and do go and check out that video too. Ruth says, what dukedom is Harry expected to receive on marriage? It's not been revealed, but we think it could either be Clarence or Sussex, with a leaning towards Sussex. Most people are saying that Sussex has been reserved for Harry. So if he is made the Duke of Sussex, then Meghan would be the Duchess of Sussex. So her full title would be Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of Sussex. And just like Catherine, she takes on her husband's title, so technically she would be the Princess Henry. But she would go by the Duchess of Sussex. And yes, MS31, it wasn't Essex, it was Sussex. HW says, good call on the emeralds for Meghan. I think so. I'm thinking emeralds. Because, of course, you know, Diana had a wealth of jewellery. Catherine's already got most of the sapphires. The emeralds are still up for grabs. And I think Meghan might get them. Van Al says, I'm really looking forward to that movie about Mary Queen of Scots. Me too. I think it'll be good. And I really like listening and hearing and reading about Mary Queen of Scots. A very interesting character. Valerie says, Charles needs to cut that out and bring the princesses into the fold. I think so too. I'm in agreement there. And you're writing to him suggesting it. I just love getting back Royal Mail. Me too. I'm already planning this year's Christmas cards, which of course will have even more opening videos. So yeah, so basically I think when Charles becomes king, and a lot of, I suppose you call it the old guard, are no longer doing royal duties, you know, the Queen's no longer there, Philip's not doing it, some of the, you know, the aunts and uncles aren't doing it. I think there will be a need for the royal princesses, the blood princesses, and I think Charles will see that and hopefully bring them back in into royal duties. Rebecca says, hello and happy anniversary. Thank you so much and welcome to the chat. Orgon says, Elliot, how often do you have these open chats? They're wonderful. I do them every single Saturday at 10 o'clock UK time, which is GMT. So you can always find out what time that is for you in your area by doing a Google search. So just type in UK time and it will tell you what the time difference is, and you can work out when I'm on. So it's always every Saturday, 10 o'clock GMT. And I've been doing them for a full year. Becky says Megan would look stunning in emeralds with her olive complexion. That's what I was thinking. I think she would really make those emeralds come to life. I think people with really, really, really pale skin kind of tend to wash out emeralds a bit. Sapphires look amazing on pale skin. Rubies can look quite striking on pale skin, but emeralds I think really pop. Anyone who's got a tan, if you've got a tan, for example, and you put something green against you, it looks better than if you're really pale. I myself am really, really pale. I have a really pale complexion, and I can't wear citrus colours. They just wash me out. I can't wear that bright orange colour. I can't wear fluorescent colours. They just look awful on me. And I see other people wearing them and they look really good, and I'm thinking, why don't I look good in those colours? I want to wear them. And it's because they've either got tan or they've got a darker complexion than me, and that's why. So I really do think emeralds will pop on Megan. I think she will look stunning in them, and I really hope she gets the emeralds. Let me know what you think. What of Diana's jewellery or the Queen's jewellery do you think Megan would look really good in? We can even predict wedding tiaras. Valerie says, will they have a special retirement party for Prince Philip? I don't think they have. I think they had a gathering where the announcement was. I don't think a party, although it's already been announced that in September, Prince Philip is accompanying the Queen to an event. So, so much for retirement. He's pretty much, back into it. He did say he was going to attend events and engagements when he wanted, and obviously he's decided he wants to accompany the Queen in September, or was it October? One or the other, but he's definitely accompanying the Queen. HW says, I am with Bonnie Prince Charles with regard to Andrew's daughters. Sorry, too many embarrassing events surrounding Andrew and Duchess of York, Beatrice and Eugenie. Personally, I think they'll be needed in the future. So I think, don't cut them off, don't cut your nose off to spite your face. Deborah says, while you're still on vacation, will you be making some of your aspects videos? I love them, and there hasn't been as much as I thought you would. By the way, the Ironworks was unique and funny. Yes, I will be working on it. It's not a channel that I'm going to be posting on lots and lots and lots and lots. It's one of those ones where if I'm doing something interesting, if I feel like doing one, then I will. They could pop up at any random time, so do make sure you're subscribed and that you hit the notification bell button on there. And then when I do upload one, you'll get it. But basically, my main focus is always going to be my royal channel. My second channel, Aspects of My Life, I will be just doing as a bit of a passion project. I'll just do it as and when I've got something that fits there, basically. But I am working on something fairly interesting-ish. And I'll say no more about that. I Love God says, do William and Harry have to be formal with the Queen? I think that's what you mean. When they meet the Queen, just like anyone else, they first address as Your Majesty, and then thereafter it's Ma'am. Although I'm sure, I have heard them say Granny on occasion, so I think they still might refer to her as Granny. But I think it's Your Majesty and a bow and a curtsy when they first meet, at the very first meeting of the day. And that goes for all the family, not just the immediate family. HW loved the Ironworks too. That was a fantastic place, it really was. And Susan says, you vote for the Emeralds. I do, I just think, give her the Emeralds. Just do it. Candice says, I was looking at the calendar of engagements that some of the royals attend and was amazed to see how busy the Earl and Countess of Wessex are. They are kind of the unsung heroes, I think. And of course, they're very, 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 very close to the Queen. And the Princess Royal is a notorious workhorse. I mean, she works and works and works and works and works, and she always comes out as one of the top working royals year on year on year. So well done, that woman. Well done, that princess. Isle of God says, have to be formal with the Queen, or can they just go up to her and start talking? The rule is, which I think they do, and we've seen this in practice, but I'll get to that in a moment. But basically, the rule is, the first time you meet her in the day, it's Your Majesty, and you do a curtsy or a bow. Now, after that, you address her as Mom, but I'm sure, being immediate members of the family, they could possibly call her Granny or Grandma. But we know that they do this because when they met the Queen and they were outside in public, William and Catherine, I think it was, didn't bow to the Queen or curtsy, but oh no, hang on, no, it was the other way around. Beatrice and Eugenie didn't bow or curtsy. William and Catherine bowed and curtsied to her, and that indicated that William and Catherine hadn't met the Queen that day. That was the first time they actually met the Queen on that occasion, on that day. Whereas Beatrice and Eugenie had been staying at the castle. I'm sure it was Windsor Castle. So they'd already done the bow and curtsy. So that's why we had 2 of them not bowing and curtsying and 2 of them that did. So that shows, to me, that's proof that that still goes on as a practice within the family. Deborah says, I am subscribed and the bell notification. Thank you so much. Please hit that bell. It's really important. Fuzzy Puppet says, I think Meghan would look great in just about anything. And I agree. I think she would. She's pretty stunning. I just wonder if she will adopt the custom of wearing hats. I think so. And I'm predicting big, wide-brimmed hats. Still off the face, but I'm predicting, okay, pretend this is a brim of a hat. And you've got a big round brim. I'm thinking a brim at a jointy angle, kind of like this. What do you think? I think that those sorts of hats would look amazing. Kind of a little bit like going back to the kind of 80s wide-brimmed type hats. Let me know what you think. I'd love to be a stylist. Okay, Becky says, well, I'm off to rest. I had several teeth pulled yesterday. Oh my goodness. The pain meds are kicking in. Hope you dream of royal weddings. Do you know what? I do that. Whenever I go to sleep, my mind is always somewhere royal, like a palace or somewhere, and it always helps me fall asleep. Carolyn says, happy 1-year anniversary. Just dropped in to say hello, and 3 cheers for the Princess Royal. Nina says she looks great in hats. Angel says it's not safe to be on the internet today. Why not? What's wrong with the internet? Why is it not safe? Susan says, has the UK really accepted Camilla, especially for being queen? If you listen to recent polls, they would suggest no. But it matters not. You know, it matters not. Anne Boleyn was hated by the public because of what happened to Catherine of Aragon, Henry's first wife. The public hated Anne Boleyn. They saw her as a usurper. They saw her as the other woman. And I make this comparison because, you know, some people still think that about Camilla, but it matters not one jot, because Anne Boleyn was still queen consort, and the same will happen to Camilla. It's not Big Brother. We don't vote them in. We don't vote them out. She will be queen consort when Charles becomes king. The law has not been changed. We've never had a princess consort before. It's not recognised in law. There's no precedent for it. The law's not been changed, as I've just said. She will be queen, and it matters not one bit what the public think. So there you go. Betsy says, Candice of Wessex is our global ambassador for 100 women in finance. Yes, she is. That is one of her patronages or charities that she's, or causes that she's ambassador of. And of course, a very important one too. MSNB says, not according to the latest poll, she has an 18% approval rating, and Charles had something in the 30s. Approval ratings change, go up and down, depending on what's going on. I'm sure the Diana anniversary has had quite a lot to do with it, possibly. Betsy says, met her in New York City. She's lovely. And she does. She looks like she's such a lovely person. Angel says, people kill in Iraq now, not safe to be on the internet today. If you want to avoid any news like that, then I suggest don't look at news channels. MS31 says, do we know something about the pre-existing condition that Prince Philip suffers? No, not. But I remember a time when he went in hospital and he had an operation. But we think it's something gastric or bowel related, but we don't know what. And I can't bring you any news on that because, of course, the royals are notoriously private with their health. So no, there is nothing official, but we think it's something stomach related. Okay. HW says, you think I'm correct on the Meghan hat call? And Caroline says, very cute, you would look great in a Hornberg. Is that Horn or Horn? Hornberg. And do you know what? I do look, I can't wear caps. My head looks ridiculous in just peaked caps. And anyway, it would just ruin my hair. So I do look better in more unusual hats. So perhaps I would. And yes, Sophie Wessex does raise lots of money for different charities worldwide. Oh no, Betsy has a broken arm. I hope your arm gets better. Candice says, oh no, not 80s fashion. I'm sure she'd make it modern. I'm sure she'd do a modern twist. But you know what I mean? Think Pretty Woman. You know the movie Pretty Woman, when she's at the, was it a polo match, and she's just had a big posh makeover. She's been to the designer stores. She turns up, and I'm sure she's got this big wide brimmed hat, that kind of look. And I think Meghan would look fantastic in that kind of look. Maybe I'll find a photo of what I mean and post it on Twitter later. Valerie says, oh no, I need to go back up. I've missed some comments. Okay, go back up. Okay, HW says, maybe Camilla will follow in Anne Boleyn's footsteps. Hopefully not to the block. Susan says, here in America, there's been so many shows on Diana, and there has over here too, because of the 20th anniversary. So sad. I just wish they do a lot. I just want to hear people that knew her friends, her family, her staff, people that she worked with on charities. I just want them to talk about her and share their memories, funny anecdotes, special memories, special moments. I just want to hear that. I don't want to hear any more about raking over the past. You know, we know all that. There's nothing new to be gleaned from going over it. Just show me all the stuff. I want to hear new stuff. I want to hear new memories. I want to hear new anecdotes. Going back to her royal chef, Darren McGrady, there was a photograph someone posted on Twitter, and she was wearing, Diana was wearing, she was with William and Harry, and she was wearing these like striped trousers, black and white striped trousers. And he shared a really funny memory. He said, I remember that day she came into the kitchen to get William and Harry some squash, and he told Diana that she looked like Andy Pandy. And if you know who Andy Pandy is, it's funny. So you know, that made me laugh and giggle, because I think Diana would have found that funny. I think she would have laughed at that. So I just want to hear some nice, light, you know, memories that people, happy memories that people have got of Diana. And I want to see programs about that, not breaking over the past. So I'm done with all of these different documentaries. The only one that I remotely enjoyed was the official one with William and Harry. But even then, I thought it was very edited. But no, I just want to hear. I just want to hear about her, about special memories that people have got. So, you know, if anyone's watching, please do that. Okay, Susan says, oh, I've read that one. Carolyn says, we do have to get over it and just accept Camilla for better or worse, and it may not be very long as they're getting older. And also, you know, someone said, well, you know, why can't we just jump Charles or Charles abdicate? And I'm thinking, no, you know, that would be detrimental to the monarchy. It has to be Charles and then William, because if we kind of start picking and choosing, that goes against the whole concept of monarchy. And then you're in the territory of an elected head of state, which isn't a monarchy. So what would put the monarchy at jeopardy the most is actually not having Charles. We need Charles, we need that line to continue unbroken for the monarchy to survive. So all these people who say, you know, Charles will be the end of the monarchy if he's king, you know, it will finish the monarchy. I think the complete opposite. I think if we don't have him, it will be the end of the monarchy, because people will just simply say, and all these people that don't want a monarchy, and there are, you know, more people want the monarchy than don't, but it will just be a red rag to a bull if Charles is not king. These people will be screaming from the rooftops, well, why have them at all? Why not just elect who you want? So I think it will be really harmful to the monarchy if we don't have Charles. So I think everyone needs to kind of, you know, if you're a supporter of the monarchy, get behind Charles, because if you don't have Charles, it could be the end. And that's my honest opinion. It really is. Deborah says, you're funny, glad to see you're back and happy. Must be a relaxing vacation. There was a week you were sad or out of sorts. Yes, I remember that week. And yes, I do feel a lot better now. A bit more refreshed. Candice says, Anne Boleyn was never given a high approval rating as far as I know. She was not. Becky Scott's going, so goodbye to Becky. Let's go back up again. Keep losing the chat. Moon Mom says, so glad to have caught the live chat again. I've missed you all so much. Been busy with my grandchildren on Saturday afternoons. You're on at 2 p.m. in California. And Valerie G says, getting rid of the monarchy would be a really bad idea. Oh, how would they go about getting rid of the monarchy? Basically, there would be a law enacted to get rid of them. And in a way, I think they'd probably make the monarch sign the law. So in a way, it would be a signature that cancels out a signature. So there would be an abolition of the Monarchy Act, and the monarch would sign it. And as soon as they signed it, they would cease to exist as the monarch. So their signature would cancel out themselves, if that makes sense. Angel says, Catherine Middleton will get a baby soon. If she is going to have a third child, I predict it may be 2018. 2018 might be the year if you're hoping for a royal baby. Carolyn says, it is none of our business what's wrong with Prince Philip. He is now retired, so we don't need to know. Just rather nosy, aren't we? I admit I am nosy, definitely. Van Al says Prince Philip has a lot of bladder infections. So I think that may be related to his pre-existing condition. Sandra said, love that film, Pretty Woman. If you think about it, it is, I mean, I'm not saying, you know, the portrayal of the Pretty Woman film, you know, the main character's origin is not what Meghan was, but it's kind of, you know, it's a similar kind of story. You know, rich, handsome man, you know, plucks girl kind of off the streets, kind of. I mean, you know, Meghan has had a successful career by herself, but, you know, and then kind of transforms her into this princess. And I think, you know, if they do get married, we will see this transformation, you know, where she starts, you know, being a lot more royal and official. So yes, it's kind of a little bit the same. And lots of people saying they just want to hear the truth about Diana. And yes, I agree. William, you know, is probably hoping that he's not king, you know, before Charles, and Charles abdicates because he wants more time with his family. Okay, so I'm going to leave the live chat here this week. I hope you've all... Oh, by the way, William and Harry, it was confirmed before I go, they were in the Star Wars film, but we don't know if their segment is going to be aired. It might be cut during the director's cut. And I think I've spoken about everything that I wanted to. So I'm going to leave the chat here tonight. Thank you all for a fantastic birthday anniversary celebration. It's been fabulous. So all that's left for me to say from me to you is thank you. And from me in Shropshire, until next week, Saturday, 10 o'clock, goodbye from me in Shropshire.